Jays on Sportsnet. Presented by Honda. At the Checkered Flag event, the real victory lap is the drive home.
The search for 500 continues here. Day game from Arlington, Texas. Cloudy, 29 degrees. Blue Jays took the first game on the Monday, lost game 2, and then took care of business last night 7-5. And currently the American League East looks like this. Yankees regained the top spot after winning last night. Boston a half game back. Tampa currently in third, and then there's Baltimore and Toronto, both sitting 35 and 36.
How about 5 teams separated by 5 games? That is the smallest amount of games from first to third in all of baseball. So John Gibbons knows that if his team gets hot, anybody can win this American League East team division, including the Blue Jays.
As Jamie mentioned, a late change in the starting lineup for John Gibbons. Jose Bautista back in the leadoff spot, followed by Russell Martin, and then Justin Smoke moves from the cleanup spot to hitting third in the lineup for the first time as a Blue Jay. Kendrys Morales is the designated hitter. Josh Donaldson out. Look at Dwight Smith Jr. 5-game hit streak. He'll start for the second consecutive game. Last night started in center field, moved late to left field because of the injury to Steve Pearce. He plays left field tonight because Pearce is out with the sore knee. Martin Perez is a left-hander that they will see here on this Thursday.
The 26-year-old makes his 15th start of the season. They're working on his regular 4 days of rest after finally getting back into the wing column in his last start. He beat the Mariners for the first time since May the 18th. He hasn't won back-to-back starts all season long. That's good news for the Blue Jays. It's been an inconsistent year for Perez. He has 1 win in each of the season's first 3 months this year. He's 3-6 with a .472 earned run average. For his career versus the Blue Jays, he's 0-1 with an outstanding 0.79 ERA in 2 regular season starts.
He'll see Bautista, Martin, Smoke. If anybody gets on to Morales and Jeff Bannister and John Gibbons having a little bit of fun before this one. Things can get testy at times between the Blue Jays and the Rangers, but here on this Thursday, a little bit of fun before things get underway. You see the defense behind the left-hander, the battery, Perez and Chirinos. Mazara Gomez, Shin-Soo Choo left side, Gallo again at third, Andrews at short, Odor and Napoli on the right side. Bautista is in the batter's box. And the first pitch is down and in.
The Rangers are in a stretch of 20 games in 20 days, so they've been trying to rest some of the regulars.
Ground ball to the left side, ranging over is Gallo, and the pick by Napoli. There's one away.
And that's one of the regulars that they have been resting over at third base. Adrian Beltre fouled a ball off of his foot the other day. Joey Gatto made a couple of nice plays in last night's game. He starts this afternoon's game with a nice play, taking a hit away from Jose Bautista, ranging far to his left. Look at the athleticism. And then the spin and throw. Mike Napoli's been doing this for years over there at first base. Good start for the Rangers.
Final game of a 7-game homestand. They took 2 of 3 from Seattle as Martin fouls it off to the right side. Hitting second today. Tomorrow they head out on a 10-day, 10-game road trip. Do the Rangers. They'll be in the Bronx taking on the first place American League East New York Yankees. Martin, the night off last night, playing third base here today, hitting .218, 7 home runs, 14 RBIs.
John Gibbons gave us the heads up the other day that Russell would be in the number 2 spot today.
Rips it, a sinking liner out into left. Missouri unable to come away with it. And standing at second base is Russell Martin.
And he was saying that he's hitting second because he sees a lot of pitches. There's a left-hander on the mound. Batting average isn't where he would like it to be, but he's had success against Martin Perez. He wanted to stick him in that spot right behind Bautista. And he rewards him with a double in his first at-bat.
Justin Smoak will hit from the right side. Has a 6-game hit streak and starting in that third spot for the first time in his career. Has 1 plate appearance. Hitting third, and he lifts one into shallow right field, and Shin-Soo Choo handles it. There's 2 away, top of the first. Bautista grounded out on the second pitch. Martin was down to the count 0-2 before ripping one into left field, and then Smoak swings at the very first pitch as Kendrys Morales will make his way to the batter's box, hitting .267.
Got a pretty good breaking ball, does Martin Perez, but the problem that he has had this year, he hasn't been able to get it over. So the first fastball that the Blue Jays have seen, they've been swinging at.
Down and away. Morales with 15 home runs after the game today. Blue Jays will be headed to Kansas City, and Morales will see some of his former teammates there. Swing and a miss, and a count of 1 ball and 1 strike. Perez with Martin at second. It was the top of the first inning that the Blue Jays took care of business last night, scoring 6 on the 5 hits and an error. Ground ball to the shortstop. And now over to first, and that's going to do it in the top of inning number 1. Blue Jays strand Martin after a double. Shin-Soo Choo with a 6-game hit streak, 10 for 24, 2 home runs, hit a solo home run last night, 4 RBIs and 5 runs scored. Carlos Gomez, a 9-game hit streak, hitting close to 400 with 4 doubles, 3 home runs and 10 RBIs, and they will see the right-hander Marcus Stroman.
Blue Jays are sending their hottest pitcher to the mound trying to win this series against the Rangers. Marcus has pitched at least 6 innings in 6 of his last 8 starts and has given up more than 3 earned runs just once over that span. He's 7-3 with an outstanding ERA of .315. He pitched 7 strong innings in his last start. That was against the Chicago White Sox, but still saw his 6-game win streak snapped. Jays lost that game 5-2. This is his first start versus the Rangers this season. Overall, his numbers are outstanding.
First pitch swinging, ground ball handled by Tulowitzki, and there's 1 away. The defense behind Stroman. Out in the outfield, Smith Jr., Pilar in center, Bautista at right on the left side. Martin and Tulowitzki on the right side. Barney and Smoke, the battery. Stroman and Maile.
6 players have played third base for the Blue Jays this season. Russell Martin gets the call this afternoon. This is his 6th start this season at third base, 16th career start. No errors and 10 chances this year. And with Marcus Stroman on the mound, he could be busy this afternoon. We've already seen 1 ground ball off the bat of the Rangers. Marcus has that ability to get the ball on the ground.
First pitch to Elvis Andrus is a strike. Martin even with a bag at third. And the 0-1 sinking down and in and fouled off, and quickly 0-2. Stroman has given the Blue Jays 6 or more innings in 10 of his 14 starts.
It seems like just about every one of his starts this year, there's been a blip along the way here and there, but every one of his starts, he's pitched well enough to give the Blue Jays a chance to win. And that's what you want. You want your starter to go deep into the game, keep the opposition down, give yourself a chance to win. He's done that. Last time out, like I said, he pitched well enough to win 7 strong innings, but just couldn't score any runs for him.
Pitch misses in tight. Going into that outing against the White Sox, the Blue Jays had won 7 in a row when he took the mound. Pitch up and in, had him 0-2, and now the count runs full here in the bottom of inning number 1. Blue Jays with another chance to get back to 500. They won the first game of this series and then came out on Tuesday night, lost game 2 of the set. They're 0-8 in those games, being outscored 62-20 in a breaking ball high and a walk, a 1-out walk.
So their 9th chance to get to 500. First chance for Marcus Stroman to do it. And with Marcus on the mound, he has been their most consistent pitcher this season, and you got to like your chances when Stroman is on the mound, especially since he's been on the road. Take a look at the numbers over 6 road starts this season. His ERA is under 3. His whip is 1.2. There are the ground balls that you're going to get off the bat with Marcus Stroman on the mound, and the team is 5-1. So you got to like your chances with Stroman on the mound this afternoon.
Nomar Mazara is the hitter. Double play depth through the middle. Stroman 5-0 on the road. Opponents hitting .264. 4 homers, and his whip is 1.28. Right-hander comes set at the belt. Andrews with the lead over at first, and they pitch out. See if the Rangers decide to do something now.
Well, in their lineup today, they've got a lot of guys who can run, but the best is on first base. Elvis Andrus, 15 for 21 in stolen bases this season. Marcus Stroman does a good job of holding runners on and varying his times to home plate. He'll slide step at times to give that catcher a chance to throw him out. Andrus looking into the dugout to see if he's going to get the steal sign or the stop sign.
With the lead at first, Stroman checks in with Maile. Looks over the shoulder at first and deals. And in under the hands. Mazara swinging through it, and a count of 1-2. For Texas in late June, you couldn't ask for better weather. It is a cloudy day, so the sun's not beating down on you. It's 28, 29 degrees. Not much of a wind. Breaking ball down and in.
It's not hot enough for me. I think it needs to be hotter. First strikeout of the afternoon for Marcus Stroman. He's got his breaking ball working. Down and in, and Mazara over the top of it. Not real familiar with his count. That curveball from Stroman gets the first out. whole key for him, I think, is to get ahead. When you get ahead, he's got so many ways he can get you outs, and he's jumping ahead of these hitters here in the first inning.
Beltre, the batter, has 14 RBIs in his first 18 games this season. And the first pitch is a strike. Beltre looked like he wanted to step out of the batter's box, and all of a sudden, a little Texas two-step. He had to stay in.
Well, he's a good hitter. He's been a good hitter for a long time. Elvis Andrus over there at first base looks like he wants to run, and Marcus Stroman's doing a good job of holding on to that baseball just a little bit longer.
To the plate. And the count even at 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know, when we talk about varying your times to home, you hold the ball just a little bit longer, and that runner gets out there and gets a little antsy and freezes just a little bit. Another time you can come set and quick pitch so the runner doesn't get a time on you.
Andrus running there, and the pitch is fouled off.
But he did not get a very good jump at all at first base, and I credit Marcus Stroman with that. Pitching is part of it, but fielding your position and holding base runners are another part of being a successful pitcher. And you can see from this replay, that's not a very good jump at all. I credit Marcus with a good job.
Beltre fouled the last pitch off. Andrus with a lead over at first, with 2 away here in the bottom of inning number 1, and not going that time, and fouled back. Stroman has 2 career postseason starts against Texas, and just 1 career regular season start dating back to July 19th of 2014. And a toss over at first base. Andrus dives back in safely. Jays trying to get to 500 for the first time this season. Great opportunity here on a Thursday with Stroman on the hill. The 1-2 with the runner moving, and it's lined into left field. Turning second, heading to third. Andrus, he's being waved around. The throw in to Tulowitzki bounces in front of him, and he's unable to come away with it cleanly. And Andrus scores, and it's 1-0 Rangers.
You know, there's really no way that he should have scored. Yes, he took off on the pitch, but the ball didn't get to the wall. Dwight Smith was able to get over there, cut the ball off, and it's a short relay from the left fielder to Tulowitzki, but he cannot throw the ball on the fly. Watch the short hop. Tony Beasley, the third base coach of the Texas Rangers, aggressively sending Andrus, and then when the ball short hopped Tulowitzki, no play at the plates. Rangers take the early lead again against the Blue Jays.
Well, up until yesterday, it was 7 consecutive games that the opponent scored first against the Blue Jays. Rougned Odor is the batter. On the throw, Beltre moves to second. The shift is on, and Barney over to first, and Odor diving in is out. So able to put out the Flames here in the bottom of the first inning. 1-0 Rangers.
Welcome back to Arlington. Last night, Roberto Osuna made history. The 22-year-old Blue Jays closer became the youngest player to reach 75 saves in Major League history after nailing down his 19th of the season. Now, I spoke to veteran reliever and former closer Jason Grilli, who told me that it really is remarkable that Osuna has become so dominant and so early in his career. He said, watching him all last season, he's mature beyond his years. But what's really been impressive, given that a lot of people hang their hat on velocity, he said Osuna's control is impeccable. To be able to have that kind of control at the speed at which he throws that baseball is really phenomenal. Grilli said Osuna has the whole package. And Matt, Osuna's 75 saves now tied with B.J. Ryan for 5th in franchise history.
He has just been lights out as Tulowitzki is in the batter's box.
Youngest player to 75 saves in his career. You know whose record he beat? Houston Street. Houston Street is now second on that list. Craig Kimbrell third.
Tulowitzki in the air to left field and moving over Mazzara, and there's one away here in the top of the second. Right-handers are hitting just 164 against Roberto Osuna. Lefties are 9 for 42, 214. I mean, he has just been outstanding.
Now let's get him the lead in the ninth inning. I like my chances.
Kevin Pillar was leading off up until yesterday and back in the starting lineup, hitting 6th. He entered the game last night after Steve Pearce left the game after colliding with the left field wall off of the inside the park home run off of the bat of Joey Gallo. Let's see how Kevin responds to being moved down. Maybe take a little bit of the pressure off. Ground ball to Gallo, able to handle and throws it over to first base, 2 away.
He responded nicely in last night's ball game. He had a single, he was balked to second, then he stole third base, his 11th steal of the season. Looks a little calmer this afternoon. Hit that ball pretty hard to the third baseman.
You know, John Gibbons said he just wanted him to maybe step away and take a breath, breathe a little bit.
Well, he got to breathe for 5 innings yesterday, and then he was back into the ball game.
Darwin Barney in the first inning, that 6-run first inning with 2 outs, hit a 2-run home run, his 2nd of the season. That was last night. He played second base. Goins played short. They gave Troy Tulowitzki the night off, and Ryan Goins with that lefty out there. Perez will get the day off, and Barney is in the lineup.
Yeah, Goins with the day off against the lefty. Darwin's home run was his first since May the 7th, if you remember that one down in Tampa. So he contributed with a 2-run home run in the first inning. His home run last night right down the left field line. There's about maybe 5 feet between the wall and the stands, and it dropped right in between the two of them.
Ground ball through the left side and a 2-out single for Darwin Barney. It was just enough, Tabby, right? He had it just, you know, that's all I needed.
Yeah, just enough to get there, and he starts today off. Here's what Darwin Barney's all about. Puts his head down and runs hard. He's not sure if that ball's going to be caught by the third baseman or if that ball's going to be caught by the shortstop. He does the right thing, puts his head down, runs as hard as he can, and then let the coach tell you that the ball got through. Good start for Darwin.
Examples of that. And it certainly help out, especially if you're trying to move that average up, right?
Well, if you're a young player, and like Dwight Smith, who is hitting right now, and you see a guy like that hit a ball on the ground like that, put your head down and run. A lot of times players will run and they'll be peeking and they'll be looking to see if the third baseman catches it or the shortstop catches that, and you lose a couple of steps. Barney did the right thing. He said, you know what, I'm not going to take anything for granted. I'm going to bust it up the line as hard as I can because I need that base hit.
Dwight Smith Jr., 5-game hit streak. And a breaking ball down low and away. He is playing left field because Steve Pearce is out with the knee injury after colliding with the left field wall. That was in the 5th. Pearce tried to stay in but just couldn't. Unfortunate for him because swinging such a great bat, especially today against a left-hander.
Would love to have seen him in the lineup today. Pearce looks like he is really starting to swing the bats. He was out here earlier running just a little bit. He took a couple of jogs and he looked okay, and that's him jogging back, just trying to loosen up, get the blood flowing in that leg just a little bit more. It's a bruise to his knee. Probably could hit, but I think they were worried about his running in the outfield, chasing down some fly balls.
5 hits through the first 3 games of this series. He was 3 for 3 with an RBI.
And how many home runs did he just miss in those first couple of games? There are the numbers: 5 for 10, a couple of doubles, a home run, and 5 ribbies.
Since returning from the DL. Smith Jr. in the batter's box with 2 outs, and Barney at first base with a lead. Perez deals in the air to shallow center field. Cruising in is Gomez toward left center field. He's able to make the catch, and that'll do it in the top of the 2nd. Barney stranded at first. 1-0 Rangers are coming up.
Will receive a Blue Jays and Canada 150 commemorative baseball presented by Rogers. Then sit back and watch your Blue Jays host the Boston Red Sox at 1:07 p.m. Eastern. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com. Matt.
All right, Hazel. Congratulations. Gomez, Gallo, and Napoli. Important stretch here for the Blue Jays. His 7-game road trip as the first pitch is lined right back through the middle, and then back home against Baltimore and Boston, as Hazel mentioned, and then at New York, and returned home to see Houston before the All-Star break.
Gomez was off yesterday. Marcus Stroman tried to throw off his timing at the plate by that hesitation on the mound. Carlos didn't play in yesterday's game. He had played 5 consecutive games after returning from a hamstring injury. And the Rangers are playing 20 games in 20 days, so they want to make sure that Gomez, who has had injury problems in the past, protects that hamstring.
Martin, with the shift on, is actually moved over in the hole between first and second. So the third baseman Martin moving over. And Tulo remains at the shortstop position as this fly ball is into left field. Dwight Smith Jr. just for a moment looked as though he may have lost it, and underneath it able to handle it for the first out. Joey Gallo is out. Dwight Smith Jr., rookie left fielder.
Well, on a day like today, it's overcast and the sun is bright behind the clouds, so that makes the background on any ball up into the air very difficult to pick that ball up. So don't take your eye off that ball.
Lights are on. Double play depth through the middle. Mike Napoli is the hitter, batting 199, flirting with the Mendoza line as the pitch is called a strike. Mario Mendoza, not a fan, by the way, of the Mendoza line. I know Mario from my days in calling minor league baseball. He was a manager in the Angels organization, and any time that came up, he had a few choice words.
But come on, that's pretty well known all around baseball.
Well, it
now,
is,
right?
but
It's
he's
in the vernacular.
everybody talks about it in baseball, right? I mean, now it's just part of the.
Well, he should have fun with it, and he should make T-shirts.
I agree.
And he should go and get it patented.
I agree.
Because it's him. That's what I would do.
He said, "Hey, look, I hit over 205 times in my 9 years in the bigs." Breaking ball down low and away. But I remember this is going back 1993, 94, talking to Mario, saying, Mario, come out with a line of T-shirts, just as you said. Have a little bit of fun with it. Embrace it. He wanted no part of it. But you see more players nowadays down in that territory as it's fouled off to the right side.
Yeah, there's a few of them in the lineup this afternoon. And that might be because of the home run. You know, a lot of teams are really valuing the home run, and they'll live with the strikeouts and they'll live with the low batting average as long as you hit the home runs. You mentioned Mike Napoli's under 200, but he's had 13 home runs and 30 RBIs for this team. Joey Gallo, the guy who just flew out in front of him, is right at 200, but he's driven in 39 runs and he's hit 19 home runs.
Fouled off to the right side.
So it's something that's happening throughout all of baseball.
It is.
Did you see over the last 72 major league games, that was from Friday until Tuesday, there was 238 home runs hit in baseball. The most homer happy 5-day period in 142-year history of Major League Baseball. So it's not just Texas or Toronto, it's everybody.
This one driven to right field, and it is gone. Napoli with an opposite field home run. It is 3-0.
20, 30 years ago, with 2 strikes, the hitter would have cut his swing down, tried to make contact. But nowadays, with 2 strikes, if you're able to reach the seats, swing away.
Yep.
Good things can happen, and it happens for Mike Napoli, home run number 14, as he hammers that one out to right field. 30 home runs last year with the Cleveland Indians. This is number 14. He takes advantage of a pitch from Stroman that's out over the plate, and the Texas Rangers take a 3-0 lead.
Here in the bottom of the second inning, Robinson Chirinos is the hitter. I mean, you're talking about the home runs, and then obviously, you know, then the strikeouts, right, at a high rate. Last night, the 15 games, 290 plate appearance, struck out, an average of 19.3 per game, and it was the highest on any day with at least 12 games played in Major League history.
It's not that big of a deal for hitters to strike out anymore.
High in the air. Smoke has an eye on it, and he's able to bring it in. There are 2 outs. I mean, you think back to players like Tony Gwynn and Wade Boggs, they prided themselves on.
Yeah, it was a badge of honor not to strike out, but again, it's a different era in baseball. It's get the ball in the air when pitchers make mistakes. When they get the ball up, hitters, those big, strong hitters, are just swinging away.
Last time out, Stroman gave up 3 solo home runs. Gives up a 2-run home run there in the second. Shin-Soo Choo, who grounded out in the bottom of the first inning, is the batter here in the second.
Choo's been good in that leadoff spot for the Texas Rangers. Swings through that one. He's reached base safely 2 times, at least 2 times in 7 straight games for the Rangers. You do that from the leadoff spot, you're going to have a very high on-base percentage, and he has that. He's always been that type of player.
Swing and a miss, and that's going to end the bottom of the second inning. Second strikeout for Marcus Stroman, but not before. Mike Napoli sends it opposite field for his 14th home run coming up. Maile, Bautista, and Martin.
About the Celtics trading their first pick to the 76ers, Markelle Fultz, Lonzo Ball, just a couple of the players will be looking to make a name for themselves in the NBA. Watch it all unfold at the 2017 NBA Draft at 7 p.m. tonight, 4 p.m. Pacific time on Sportsnet 1 and Sportsnet Now. Matt.
Should be an interesting night. We head to the top of the third, and the Jays in need of some runs as they trail 3-0. Perez rocks back and deals, and the first pitch misses low. Luke Maile is the batter, hitting .120 with 2 home runs and 4 RBIs, catching in back-to-back games with Martin playing at third. Ground ball right to Napoli, and he scoops it up, and there's one away here in the top of the third.
Well, let's take a look at the scouting report while we can for this afternoon starter for the Texas Rangers. Martin Perez is a left-hander, and he really hasn't gotten off to a real good start this year. He'll use his fastball, changeup, curveball, slider. The slider is the important pitch, I think, for him because hitters are hitting .375 against him this season. And his slider strike percentage this season is the lowest it's been in 3 years. He just hasn't been able to throw it for a strike. In fact, all of his breaking ball strike percentage has gone down this year. He's one of the top in baseball in not getting his breaking ball over. So the Blue Jays should be looking for that fastball from him.
Pitch is in there for a strike. Typically doesn't get much run support. In fact, the 6th lowest in the American League per 9 innings. It's 3-0 here in the top of the third. Bautista looks at a pitch that just misses away. And it's 2-1. final chance during the regular season for the Texas fans to boo Bautista. They're making sure they get it in. And 2-1 ripped in the air to right center field, giving chase is Gomez. It'll go all the way to the wall as Bautista will head to second with a stand-up double. And one away, and Russell Martin will be the hitter.
And I say keep booing him because I think that brings out the best of Jose Bautista, his 11th double of the season, and that's a ringing double to right field. He keeps that front shoulder in, and it's a breaking ball on the back door. He keeps it in and stays with it and drives it to right center field. That ball's going to slice away from Gomez. No chance for the center fielder to come up with that one, and the Blue Jays have a runner in scoring position. Pretty good approach right there from the veteran Bautista.
Batter is Martin. He doubled back in the top of the first with one away. And the first pitch is in there at the knees for a strike. Outfield straight away. Bautista with a lead at second. And Martin playing third today as Perez backs away for a moment. Such a great eye at the plate. Martin has drawn 7 walks over the last 3 games that he's played in, and 10 walks in 11 games in June. Patience. And he looks at one there. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, great strike zone awareness from Russell Martin. You don't see him unless he's geared up to hit something when he's ahead in the count, overswing or go outside the strike zone to swing the bat. This too could help him to jumpstart him just a little bit, moving him up in the lineup against left-handers, give him a different look.
Swing and a miss there. Do you think that it's something that you'll only see against left-handers?
I do. Yeah. I do, because what you don't want to do is start stacking all those right-handers in a row. You're at some point against right-handed pitching, you're going to have to break it up a little bit. But against left-handers, I can see Russell hitting second in the lineup behind Bautista. They both have great eyes and they both have good on-base percentages. And that's the idea. Get some guys on base for Smoke, Donaldson, and Morales.
Breaking ball in the dirt. Chirinos keeps it in front of him. Bautista remains at second. Smoke awaits on deck. He's got a 6-game hit streak in tow.
Jose's on base percentage coming into this game, .334. Yeah, for Russell Martin, .376.
Yeah.
So they're going to get on base via the walk or base hit. So give the RBI opportunities to Smoke and Donaldson and Morales.
Breaking ball low, and he's worked a full count now. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Isn't this a typical Russell Martin at bat right here? See a lot of pitches, lay off that tough one. That breaking ball in the dirt.
And Chirinos now is going to head out to the mound to have a quick conversation with Perez. Bautista back at second, and Perez is really slowed down here.
Well, you see this more and more often now with runners at second base. There's so much video and so much opportunity for runners and teams to steal signs and understand what they're trying to do. So at second base, runners out there, you're constantly changing the signs or reminding the pitcher what you're going to use so you don't get any cross-ups behind the plate.
And time now called. Did you see the other day Justin Verlander said he wants something done about sign stealing by Major League Baseball?
Forget Major League Baseball. Don't let a guy to second base. How about that?
It's been going on for 100+ years.
Exactly.
Liner right too short. Unable to double up. Bautista is able to hustle back. And Smoke is going to be the batter.
And he is in one of those hot streaks, and home run hitters, hit home runs in bunches since May the 11th. Only Cody Bellinger has had more home runs in the major leagues than Justin Smoke. Smokey's hit 15 of them. Cody Bellinger has gone crazy for the Los Angeles Dodgers. George Springer is up there also. Justin Bour of the Miami Marlins up there, but Smoke with 15 home runs since May the 11th.
Fourth in the American League in home runs. Hit 14 in 126 games last season. He's hitting .389 as a right-handed hitter with 4 home runs and 54 at-bats and 10 RBIs.
And again, we were talking about getting runners on base in front of him, so those home runs are more than Han Solo. I think he's hit 12 solo home runs. So you want to get guys on base, so when he does hit home runs, we want some 2-run home runs, 3-run home runs.
Down in the count here, Bautista had a 1-out double. He is at second. Martin just lined out. Blue Jays have stranded a runner in the first and second, trying to avoid that here in the third. Bautista running, pitch down and in, the throw, got him. Let's see if the Jays, the ball definitely beat him there, and the tag got him in the chest. Rangers lead 3-0.
Honda Super Camps across Canada. Learn techniques from former Blue Jays such as Hall of Famer Roberto Alomar, Devon White, Lloyd Moseby, Jesse Barfield, and Dwayne Ward. Register now at bluejays.com/camps.
Always a great time, and a lot of Blue Jays fans have made their way here to Arlington. 4-game set. Final game, and Blue Jays trail 3-0. Jose Bautista, there's always that rule about not making the first or third out at third, and after the double with Smoke in the batter's box, made the decision to try to get to third, and he was thrown out. Batter is Elvis Andrus, then Nomar Mazara and Adrian Beltre here in the bottom of the third inning. Right-hander to the plate, and it's down low and away, and the count 2-0 to Elvis. Misses away. Stroman 6th in the American League in wins, 8th in innings, 8th in ERA. And ball 4 on 4 consecutive pitches.
Hurry in for our lowest prices of the year at the Great Canadian Paint Sale on June 21st to 28th at Home Hardware.
Second walk for Stroman, second time he's walked Andrews. Here comes Nomar Mazara.
He's a notorious free swinger, Elvis Andrews, and he just threw 4 wide ones right there. Those leadoff walks, they are tough to overcome.
Checking in over at first. And remember, Andrews back at the bottom of the first inning walked, and then he was heading to second, trying to steal second base when Beltre singled into left field, and Andrews came around to score. Mazara over the last 10 games is 7 for 36. His average was up at 292 prior to this skid, and he looks at a strike.
Had a little bit of a power outage, if you will, for him till the first couple of games here where he homered against the Blue Jays. At times that swing can get a little long, but he's going to be a good hitter. Just look at his spray chart. He sprays the ball all over the ballpark.
Breaking ball, and Andrews steals second.
Well, they get to a favorable count. Guessing that Marcus Stroman is going to throw a breaking ball to try and go for a strikeout. That's going to be his 16th stolen base of the season, and they guessed right. It's a breaking ball in the dirt. Mazara holds up, and Luke Maile does the right thing, just holds on to that ball. Breaking ball in the dirt, it bounces. Makes no sense to even try and throw that ball down to second base. But you do that, you get the 2 strikes, and you guess he's going to throw him a breaking ball, and they guessed right.
Rangers put up 1 in the first, 2 in the second. Mazara, the batter, with a runner in scoring position. He's hitting .313. And a ground ball foul.
He's jumping at that breaking ball right now from Stroman. Remember, Marcus struck him out his first time up on a breaking ball that swept down and in. He's jumping at that ball right now. He's seeing it out of his hand, but he doesn't realize how much that thing is breaking.
Andrews with the lead at second base. Right-hander comes set at the belt. Checks on the runner at second. Breaking ball in the dirt, and the count 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Looks like he wants to get him out with a breaking ball. So Luke Maile does a good job of blocking that one. You can't afford to allow Andrews to move up.
Mazara for the 14th time this season playing left field. Typically out and right, 45 starts in right. The 2-2. Breaking ball once again missing, down and in. And the count now runs full. Remember the breaking pitches to Andrews down low and away, wasn't getting after it, and then
throw another one. That's what I would do right here. I wouldn't challenge him with a fastball. He's a deadly fastball hitter. Throw another breaking ball. If you end up walking him, no problem. You got a right-hander on deck, a guy that can hit the ball on the ground. Marcus can throw the double play grounders, and throw him a breaking ball here. Maybe he'll swing at it.
Ground ball to the right side. 1 away, and moving over to third base, Andrews.
that'll bring the infield in, I'm sure. Blue Jays cannot afford to give up any more runs here. It's early. You've got some speed at third base. Infield will probably come in. Beltre's going to try and lift the ball into the outfield. Let's watch and see what the Texas Rangers do here. If they're going to try and steal a run and play contact with that runner at third base.
Picked up his 15th RBI in the bottom of the first inning of the 19 games that he has played. So the infield, as Pat mentioned, they are in. Andrews with a lead at third, and Beltre fouls it back.
He's coming.
Yeah.
He got a big lead, and as the runner at third base, if you see that batter swing the bat, you're just going. And you're hoping that the ball is on the ground, and if it's on the ground, you can steal a run. Makes it very difficult for those infielders to field the ball cleanly, come up and throw a strike to home. If it's a fly ball, you got time to get back.
Breaking ball down low and outside, 1-1. And another quick conversation between Tony Beasley, third base coach, and Elvis Andrus. Stroman here in the bottom of the third, trying to work out of a jam. Leadoff walk is now at third after a stolen base and a ground ball to Martin. The play at the plate, got him. Beltre, the ground ball to Martin, and Martin fires it to home. They're on the phone.
And
Andrus was called out.
Steve Buechele is going to take a look at this one. He's going to call back to the dugout and say, what did you, or excuse me, back to the clubhouse, what do you see right here? Good throw from Russell. They give him a lane to slide, and Luke Maile looks like he got the tag before that hand touched home plate.
Greg Gibson right there, the home plate umpire on top of it.
And I don't think they want to look at this one. They were trying to steal a run playing contact, but the Blue Jays defense stops that run from scoring. Good job from Martin, playing third base, just the 6th time this season that he has started over there. Throws a strike to Luke Maile.
So 2 outs, and Beltre with a fielder's choice is at first base. Here's Rougned Odor. Odor grounded out to end the bottom of the first inning with a big play by Martin. Playing his 6th game at third this season. Ground ball right through the left side with the partial shift on. And runners at first and second.
And the Texas Rangers are kicking themselves, saying, why did we put that play on? That would have scored a run, but the Blue Jays are happy that they did, and they are happy that they were able to execute the out at the plate. Not a lot of speed out there at second base in Beltre, so if there is another hit into the outfield, they're going to have an excellent chance of getting him at the plate.
Gomez, and with a base hit and a run scored back in the second, he's the batter. Beltre at second with the lead. Odor at first with a sizable lead, and the first pitch is swung on, and it's 0-1. Gomez has hits in all 6 games since returning from the DL on Friday. He is 7 for 20, and his average up to 255. Now to 259.
One of those hits was a long home run here against Francisco Liriano the other day. He's another one of those free swingers, all or nothing, home run or strikeout. That's what you're going to get from Gomez.
Has 3 home runs over the last 5 games, and the 0-2 in the dirt, and a good job by Maile of blocking it. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the third inning, 2 on for the Rangers. Fastball high, and the count now even. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, and 2 on. Breaking ball hit deep to left field, down the left field line. It is gone. A 3-run home run with 2 outs.
He is seeing something in Marcus Stroman's delivery that he likes. He singled his first time up on a ball hit hard back through the middle. I told you he's an all or nothing type of swinger. He sees a breaking ball this time, even with 2 strikes, very aggressively. Bangs that ball off the foul pole down the left field line. It's hooking, hits that foul pole, and 3 more runs put on the board by the Rangers.
Mentioned this yesterday, the highest percentage of home runs with 2 outs. Baltimore's first, Minnesota second, Atlanta third, and then Texas is 4th. And a 2-out, 3-run home run. It's 6-0 now. Rangers. Gallo is the hitter. And a breaking ball down and in. And it's a strike. And around.
There is some power in this lineup for the Texas Rangers. Gallo's hitting 7th. He's got 19 home runs. Mike Napoli is hitting 8th. He has 14. Gomez's eyes lit up when he saw that breaking ball.
Swing and a miss. And he strikes out. But not before 3 runs are scored in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 6-0 now, Rangers.
More MLB right here on Sportsnet. It's the series finale between the Cleveland Indians and the Baltimore Orioles. Mike Clevenger and Wade Miley are your expected starters tonight. You can catch it on Sportsnet and Sportsnet Now, beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific time.
Orioles, I don't know if you saw this note. I know they won last night, but they have now allowed 5 or more runs in 18 straight games. It's the longest streak in American League history. They are just
giving
up the runs and
giving it up. You know, I don't care what kind of offense you've had. If you have a starting staff that's giving up that many runs, that's just the starters.
Yeah.
They've got a great bullpen. That's just the starters. I don't think you're going to ever come back. It's just too tough. Puts too much pressure on the offense.
7-game hit streak now for Justin Smoke with a base hit off of the bat of the first baseman, and a leadoff single here in the top of the 4th.
Right back through the middle. You notice they don't play in the shift when he's hitting right-handed. He's more of a spray hitter where he uses the whole field. Left-handed, they'll put 3 infielders on the right side of the infield.
See if Kendricks can put a charge into one. Of course, with that base hit, you kind of think back to that 3rd inning with the caught stealing by Jose. Was Smoke in the batter's box, but it's 6-0 now, and the bats are going to have to come alive for the Blue Jays. Morales awaits, and the pitch is low, and the count of 1 ball, 1 strike.
I don't know if Martin Perez knows what to do with all these runs.
Yeah, well,
the guy who doesn't get any runs.
Mentioned the 6th lowest per 9 innings in the American League. They have set him up here on this Thursday. And the 1-1 fouled back at the count of 1-2 now.
They've scored 2 or fewer runs 9 times for him this year, so they've got 6 already. Let's see if he can pitch with the lead. Looks like he's using his off-speed stuff effectively versus the Blue Jays. He's going to give up his share of hits. He's given up a hit in every inning this afternoon. See if the Jays can string some together.
Did it go? No. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Morales, his 177 career home runs, places him 3rd among all active switch hitters. And his 15 home runs are 2nd to most by a switch hitter in the bigs this year. And he strikes out there.
Martin Perez is averaging almost 7 strikeouts per 9 inning. That's a career high. But this afternoon, this is his first one. Off speed again, and that's what Kendricks has been getting a lot of. Change-ups and slow curveballs. So Perez will pick up his first strikeout.
Batter is Troy Tulowitzki. Got the night off last night, as Smoke has a small lead over at first. Perez works to the plate, hit in the air to right field. It is twisting down that right field line and foul. Shin-Soo Choo picks it up, tosses it. Nice catch out there in right field by a fan.
Oh, slicing down that right field line, and there's just a little bit of room down there. You can see from that replay, it's just a couple of feet from staying fair. This is where Troy's got to get the ball in the air. Got a runner at first base, not a lot of speed. Get it in the air, get it into the outfield. You don't want anything on the ground here.
Double play depth through the middle. Is 1 hit against Perez is a home run. Tulo waits on the 0-1 and a fastball strike. 48 pitches for the lefty Perez. Ahead in the count. And the 0-2 on its way. There's that ground ball out at second, on to first. Double play, 6-4-3. Perez gets out of the inning after a leadoff single by Justin Smoke at the top of the 4th. We travel to the home half of inning number 4 in Arlington.
Jays and enter the code MBJ3678 to earn My Blue Jays points just for watching this afternoon's broadcast. The entry box can be found on your My Blue Jays homepage. The code, don't forget, must be entered by 4 a.m. Look for a new code tomorrow.
700 miles to check out Marcus Stroman. And right now, the right-hander struggling against the Rangers. Rangers have put up 6 on the Blue Jays. They're looking for the split.
Blue Jays are looking to get the 500s. What is this, their 9th chance to try and get the 500 this year?
Rangers going for the split, and the Blue Jays looking for 500 and to take the series on the road. They'll have to put together a lot of work. The batter is Napoli. Napoli homered. That was back in the second, a 2-run home run with 1 out. The Rangers are now the 5th American League team to have over 100 home runs. Got him looking on the breaking ball.
The Honda Checkered Flag event is back. It's a great time to give your pulse a racing lesson.
Getting all ready on the grill here. With 1 away in the bottom of the 4th inning.
You were talking about Texas with 100 home runs now. Have they passed the Blue Jays?
They have.
I know they were really close.
Yeah, Blue Jays with 98. They entered today with 99. They now have 101. Of course, Houston and Tampa with 115, and then New York, the Yankees with 114, and Baltimore with 102. Chirinos looks at a pitch away.
It's all the rage around baseball, isn't it now? How many home runs can we hit?
Entering the day, 1,404 in the American League. And time is taken. Chirinos catching today. Breaking ball, left high, and this one is deep to left field and gone. And just when we were talking about home runs, that's a 3rd of the game.
And Robinson Chirinos hitting in the number 9 hole. Came into this game with a .216 batting average. That's his 9th home run of the season. He doesn't even split time with Jonathan Lucroy as a catcher. So he's got a lot of home runs for as few at-bats as he has. It's a ball that is up. An off-speed pitch that is up, and that ball is hit hard. He swings hard every single time, and that one is not coming back. Well, Texas Rangers do it again.
And what's interesting, as Shin-Soo Choo looks at the pitch, and it's a strike. Stroman's been ahead in the count. Yeah, look, Napoli goes opposite field, and pitch gets left up in the zone, and the approach not changing. And also, home runs have come from Gomez in the 6th spot, Napoli in the 8th, and Chirinos, as you just mentioned, the 9th hitter.
Told you that they've got some power up and down that lineup. It looks like they've made an effort to fill their team with home run hitters. Not a lot of big average hitters in this lineup.
6 home runs now in the last 2 times out for Marcus Stroman that he has given up. And the bullpen is starting to work.
These are Valdez just up here with Lionel Campos went on the disabled list. There's Valdez getting loose. You'd like to see Marcus get deeper here to give that bullpen a little bit of a blow before we head into Kansas City.
Ground ball, chop, foul. 8 relievers used in the first 2 games of this series until last night, when Biagini worked 5 2/3, but then Luke, Barnes, Tepera, and Osuna all worked. Came away with a 7-5 victory. Maybe the Jays can come from behind here.
Well, Jays jumped out to 7-0 yesterday, and then the Texas Rangers made it interesting. Called their way back into it a couple of times. They got the tying run to the plate late in the ball game. It's like the same formula for the Blue Jays this afternoon. They're going to have to fight back.
The 2-2, they set him up inside. Pitch misses down low and outside.
Seven home runs allowed in his first 13 starts, 6 over his last 2.
Got him looking. Well, this is what you're kind of hoping for here in the 4th inning. That's his 5th strikeout. In the bottom of the first, 1 run was scored. In the bottom of the second, 2 runs were scored. In the bottom of the third, 3 runs were scored, and you just want to get out of here with 1, not 4.
Well, I think Marcus is going to start using his fastball just a little bit more. Gomez homered on a breaking ball. Chirinos looked like he homered on some type of off-speed pitch. Napoli went to right field. So if you use your fastball just a little bit more, maybe you cross up the Rangers who might be looking for his breaking ball.
The hitter is Andrews. He has had trouble with him. There's a breaking ball. First 2 times up, he's walked him. Walked and scored in the bottom of the first inning, and then in the third, walked on 4 pitches, stole second, went to third on a ground out, and then on contact. Great play by Martin as Martin threw him out at home plate.
Looked like the Blue Jays were going to escape that inning without giving up any runs. But then some 2-out lightning by the Rangers, something that they do a lot of.
Stroman with a 1-2, hit in the air to left field. Coming on is Smith Jr., and it drops in front of him, and a base hit for Elvis Andrus, and that's going to bring up Mazzara.
And it looked like it sent Pete Walker to the phone to see if Valdez is ready. There's Pete. So he will report to John Gibbons and let him know if Valdez is ready. Probably is. It's not going to take him that long to get loose this afternoon.
With the heat, although it is not a typical Texas heat day, 29 with some cloud cover. And a big swing and a miss. Mazzara is 0 for 2, struck out back in the bottom of the first, and then in the third, grounded out to the right side.
Mazzara has been the only one so far this afternoon who hasn't been able to pick up that breaking ball from Stroman. He's thrown him some pretty good ones.
Runner off and running, and the throw to second, and it gets away from Tulowitzki, and the second stolen base for Andrews. He's got 17 now on the season.
Well, this is a team, the Texas Rangers, with a lot of home run power, but they've got a lot of speed too. Their best base runner is not even in the game, Delino DeShields. Their second best base runner, he's got 2. That's Elvis Andrus, as the short hop cannot be picked by Tulowitzki, and he is now in scoring position.
The look at second, and the pitch grounded to Smoke. Smoke was headed to the line and then had to reach back with his glove hand. And that's going to do it in the fourth. Limited to 1 run are the Rangers at 7-0, and it's time now for Blue Jays Central Update. Here's Jamie and Zonnie from the Samsung Broadcast Studio.
This Thursday night in the 6, presented by TD. The first 15,000 fans in attendance receive this Strode t-shirt. Don't forget to join us pregame in the WestJet Flight Deck for live music and entertainment. For tickets, as always, BlueJays.com.
All right, Hazel, it's going to be Pilar, Barney, and Smith Jr. if anybody gets on to Maley. And let's see if the Jays bats can start to heat up here against Perez. Outfield straight away for Pilar, grounded out to the third baseman Gallo in the second, and Perez with 7 runs in his hip pocket.
The most he has gotten in a game this year is 8. Again, 2 or fewer runs in 9 of his 14 starts this season. So I don't know if he knows what to do with all these.
Pilar starts it off with a base hit into center field. And so a leadoff single, and Barney's going to be the hitter. Remember, this is a Jays team that has had an immense amount of success here in Texas through the years. Dating back to 2013. They've really owned the Rangers here in their own ballpark.
Totally outplayed the Rangers here in this ballpark. They've outpitched them. They've out-hit them. They've out-homered them. A little bit of everything. So a comeback is always in the cards, I think, in this ballpark versus this team.
Barney looks at a strike. He singled back in the second, was stranded at first base. Ninth time that they've had an opportunity to try to get to 500. And it's going to be a double play, 4-6-3. And a 7-0 lead for the Rangers. And here are the games thus far this season. Of course, this is the 7th and final game.
Everything looks about the same, doesn't it? The earned run average, the batting average, the runs, the home runs, except the win column. The Blue Jays have that. They've won 4 out of the first 6 games. This is the last time that we will face Texas in the regular season this year.
Breaking ball strike. You mentioned the Rangers' ability to hit home runs, and also they have speed on the base pass, specifically with Andrews. It's been their pitching. I mean, that's been the issue, starting pitching, to be exact. And you look at Cole Hamels on the DL. He's expected back
Yeah, he pitched in a rehab game yesterday, and from what I understand, he pitched really well. As Dwight Smith gets that one, it looks like he got him off the forearm or the elbow. So his return is really close. Maybe one more rehab next week. He'll come back. Perez runs that fastball in, and it gets him on that back elbow. And then Dwight, Dwight, that's on the forearm. You can't come out of the ball game. Blue Jays don't have any healthy bodies, except Ryan Goins really on the bench.
Tries to shake it off a little bit. Andrew Kashner also on the DL, and Tyson Ross last night worked his second game after coming back from the disabled list. Didn't go well. 3 innings, 7 hits, 7 runs for the big right-hander for the Rangers. So they're getting a nice outing here from Perez thus far, as Maile fouls it off, and getting exactly what ultimately they need.
Starting pitching in middle relief. That's been a problem for the Rangers this year. They can score plenty of runs, and if they get their guys back, their guys healthy, and it's not just the Rangers who are having some of these problems with injuries. It's all over baseball. Teams that the Blue Jays have been facing, 4 of their 5 starters are out.
Maile drives this one into the gap in right center field. Dwight Smith Jr. rounds third base. He's headed for home. The throw is late, and Maile comes through, and he gets the Jays on the board here in the top of the 5th inning.
It's not over yet. We just saw something that we haven't seen a lot of this year for the Blue Jays, and that is some speed on the bases. Did Dwight Smith ever get around the bases quickly? I mean, that ball was hit hard by Maile, first of all, and with 2 outs, he's running on contact, yes. But that ball got out there quickly. The Rangers played it perfectly, but here comes Dwight Smith cutting that corner at third base. Really scores without a throw. Yes, he scores from first base on that 2-bagger, and the Jays are on the board.
Jose Bautista, the hitter. It's 7-1 here in the top of the 5th inning. Maile is at second. Let's see if Jose can do some damage at the plate. Perez. And the pitch is up. Hitters count, and Chirinos, with a 6-run lead, wants to head out to the mound and have a word with his lefty.
And this has to do, again, there's another runner in scoring position at second base. And he just wants to reaffirm what they want to use with the signs. They might even change it right there. This has been a problem for Martin Perez this year. This is the 3rd time through the lineup that he's got to go through. And look at the batting average of the opposition the 3rd time through. 364.
Bautista doubled back in the 3rd. He's got a hitter's count, and the 2-0 misses in, and it's 3-0. If Bautista can work his way on, it'll be Martin. Maile with a walking lead at second. Perez with now a 6-run lead. Bautista, the 3-0, and it's ball 4.
You're just asking for trouble when you start walking guys like this. And that's going to bring Doug Brocail, the pitching coach, out to talk to his starter, trying to get through that 5th inning so that he can at least qualify for the win, and he's trying to be too perfect. Walks Bautista, on 4 pitches, and now a home run, and the Blue Jays are back in it.
Martin has 7 home runs. 5 of the 7 have either tied and or given the Blue Jays the lead. Russell Martin playing 3rd today. Josh Donaldson was originally in the lineup as the 3rd hitter, as a designated hitter. However, a late scratch because of a sore knee. And so he gets the entire day off here.
Gibby said he wanted to give him a quote half day off and DH him, so he was in the lineup today, but then about half hour before the ball game he was scratched. Russell's playing third base. He's already had a double and a line out today.
And a nice play as well. Drives this one into center field and it gets down. Maile rounds third. The throw goes in to the infield and Maile will score. And Martin with a single to center field and an RBI, his 15th. Bautista now at second, and here comes Smoke.
Jumps on that first pitch with runners in scoring position. He's going to score Maile from second base. Blue Jays coming up with some clutch hits. They had a single, then a double play, 2 outs, nobody on, and they started this rally on a hit by a pitch. See if they can keep it going here with Justin Smoke.
The lead now 5 for the Rangers. Perez with a breaking ball. Smoke flew out of the top of the first to right field. A single to begin the fourth. Has a 7-game hit streak. 47 RBIs on the season. That is 8th best in the American League. He's got 48 at second right now and pitches down low.
Yeah, he's got an RBI standing at the plate too. If he hits a home run, that'll give him an even 50.
He is 7 for 16 with 3 doubles and a average of .438 against the lefty Perez, who was really not challenged much through the first 4. A leadoff single by Pilar, then Barney with a double play ball, and then he hits Dwight Smith Jr.
2 outs, nobody on.
And then
that started it.
Maile, as you mentioned, he hit that ball hard into right field, and Smith with that speed able to score on it. And then a walk, another base hit, and here we are. The 1-1. And it misses away, trying to leave one out there on the corner.
He's trying to guide that ball now instead of throwing it to his spot. He's trying to short arm it, hit that outside corner because he doesn't want to make a mistake here. Now, when you start to pitch not to make a mistake, that's when you generally make a mistake. There's another one.
And now it's a 3-1 count. Runners at first and second. Bautista is at second. Martin with a single and an RBI at first. And if Smoke can get on, Morales will walk to the batter's box. 2 away here, and the 3-1 pitch. Ball 4. Bases are loaded for Morales.
Well, he has put himself into some hot water right here after the double by Maile. He was too careful with Bautista, lost him, walked him. Martin jumped on the first pitch and got a base hit, and now so careful with Smoke, and the way Smoke is seeing the ball, lets it pass, and now the bases are loaded, and you've got a guy at the plate who can reach the seats with one swing.
Has 5 home runs from the right side of the plate, hitting .311. 5 homers and 15 runs driven in.
And his grand slam this year was from the left side, or excuse me, against the left-hander from the right side.
Bases are full of Jays, and the first pitch misses high. Bullpen is scurrying right now.
Yeah, very quickly. Get loose in a hurry. This came out of nowhere.
Morales just remains in the batter's box. He knows what to do. The 1-0 on its way. Driven through the right side, a base hit. Bautista will score. Mishandled out in right field, and Martin will score. Heading to third is Smoke, and the Blue Jays are right back in it.
You give a good offensive team a chance, and with the walks and the misplays by the Rangers, they're giving them a chance to get back into this ball game. Morales has been a great RBI guy this year. He's going to drive in 2. That's going to give him 44. 2 runs are going to score, and then Chu mishandles the ball in the outfield for his 3rd error of the season. And just like that, the Blue Jays have put a 4 spot on, and they haven't stopped yet.
Tulowitzki is the batter.
Chu has looked shaky in the outfield in this series. Really, there's nobody he's going to throw out. 2 runs are going to score.
Tulo awaits, and the pitch is up and away. His 1 hit against Perez is a home run. Grounded into a double play in the 4th. Perez has put himself in this situation with a hit batter and 2 walks, and the Blue Jays have taken advantage of it. They trail 7-4, and Perez deals breaking ball, and the count 2-0. Smoke at third. He went down to third base on that error by the right fielder. Claiborne, Preston Claiborne, is a right-hander up at the bullpen. Tulowitzki, ground ball, slowly rolled out to short. That's going to do it. But not before the Jays come up with 4 runs. And it's 7-4. Morales drives it the opposite way. Picks up 2 RBIs.
Martin or a road trip to a Blue Jays away game. How about a VIP experience at Rogers Center? Rogers wants you to submit your baseball dream at RogersCelebrates.com, and your dream could come true. Matt.
Great stuff. Russell Martin checking the high sky there with the flip shades, and a new pitcher is on for Marcus Stroman.
Marcus out after 4 innings. Cesar Valdez into the ball game. He was claimed off waivers from Oakland on May the 5th. He's made 1 appearance with the Blue Jays. Doesn't have a record. He was starting down in Buffalo. He was just recalled yesterday when Campos went on the disabled list. So he was starting down in Buffalo. He made 6 starts down there, so he is stretched out. So they can give him multiple innings this afternoon.
Valdez up. And Campos went on the DL, becoming the 19th Blue Jay to be placed on the disabled list. Last time the Jays had 19 or more different players on the disabled list was back in 2013, where they had 22. Breaking ball is in there for a strike against Beltre.
That was 22 for the whole season, right?
Correct.
We're not even to the All-Star break, and we had 19.
Driven deep into center field, but Pilar drifting over is right there, and there's 1 away.
Buy 6 cans of Beauty Tone paint and get the 7th free. Available exclusively at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Beauty Tone, Canada's color experts.
The Texas flag waving here toward the right field foul pole as Odor is the hitter. There's still cloud cover. The sun is trying to make its way through here in Arlington. Odor back in the 3rd inning and a base hit, and later scored on that home run off of the bat of Gomez. 3-run home run. Odor 1 for 2. Seven to 4. Jays are back in it with a 4-run 5th, and Perez got himself in trouble with 2 away, hitting Dwight Smith, and then Maile with a double, scoring Smith, walks Bautista, base hit by Martin, and Smoke gets Odor at first.
Yeah, this is just what the doctor ordered right here. You know, we've talked about the starting pitching has been a problem for Texas. The middle relief has been a problem. Here's Cesar Valdez. Come in here, throw up some zeros, and give the offense a chance to come back. You got to like their chances.
Valdez, the right-hander, now we'll see Carlos Gomez, and it's a ground ball right to Tulo, and there you go, just like Tabby likes it. It's a 1-2-3. After your team puts up 4, go get some more.
Life Park for a new air-conditioned retractable roof ballpark to be constructed in time for opening day 2020. Executive VP and marketing officer Joe Januszewski for the Rangers told me the park will offer wider seats with greater legroom, a more intimate ballpark experience, and a world-class entertainment district they're going to call Texas Live. Just a few of the enhanced benefits coming to North Texas. Globe Life Park, Matt, was built 23 years ago at a cost of almost $200 million. The estimated cost of the Rangers' new home, $1 billion. Yes, they like to do things big in Texas.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Did she say $1 billion?
and this ballpark, by the way, is a great ballpark.
Oh, I love this ballpark.
It's a great ballpark, but Jerry got his big house right next door, and so everybody wants
Did you see
bigger
it
house.
in the things that she was just showing there? What it's going to look like, the big ballpark. In the background, you saw the big Texas Stadium ballpark, the Jerry Bowl. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this place, except, like she said, air conditioned.
Yeah. Be interesting to see if they believe that's going to help attendance or not. Maybe in the summertime. People are definitely right now fanning themselves, at least at the level at which we're broadcasting the game. It is starting to heat up. And the sun is working its way through the clouds, and it is a day game in Texas. Pilar is the batter than Barney Smith Jr. If anybody gets on of Maley, it was the Smith Jr. Maley part of the lineup that got things going in the 5th. And this one is into right field for a base hit, and Pilar with purpose will head now to second. Great job.
Here they come. This is where they were in the lineup last inning. Pilar started it off with a base hit, and the Blue Jays ended up scoring 4 runs. Can they do it again here in the 6th inning? Good start here with his 18th double right off the end of the bat. That's called plate coverage there, being able to reach that outside pitch. He hits it off the end of the bat, and with his hustle and his speed, he's going to turn that into a double.
And Chu racing over there had a little bit of a problem with it.
And that will bring the pitching coach out once again.
Yeah.
And this is probably to buy some time to get a reliever up and loose.
Looks like Leclerc is out there. There he is.
I mean, what more is he going to tell him? He's thrown 3 pitches since the last time he was in the dugout talking to him. So this is all about biding some time and stay out there till the umpire walks out there and runs you out of there. But you're supposed to be only out there for, what, a minute? Is that what you get?
And that was it, broken up by Greg Gibson. And still taking some time here. The slow walk by Chirinos back behind home plate. Outfield straight away. The batter is Darwin Barney. Had a single in the 2nd. Let's see if he can move Pilar over to 3rd. He awaits. The lefty comes set. And this one is grounded foul.
You are still down by 3 runs. What you're looking for, yeah, you'd like to move that run. You're looking for base runners.
Yep.
Trying to get some more guys on base. Keep the pressure on that pitcher.
Leclerc still getting ready out of the bullpen for the Rangers. Perez checks in on Pilar, and this one hit in the air to right field. Going back is Chu. Back to the warning track, makes a catch, and he moves Pilar, does Barney, over to 3rd.
He made a bid for an extra base hit to get on base, but the next best thing, he moved that runner, hit that ball far enough to right field. And Pilar did a good job of going back, staying on that base a long time just to make sure that the umpire sees that he is on the base when the ball is hauled in by Chu in right field. So now the Blue Jays have a runner at 3rd base, less than 2 outs. The infield's going to play back except the 3rd baseman. So if you're the hitter, keep the ball in the middle of the diamond right here and get yourself an RBI.
Dwight Smith Jr. has a 5-game hit streak that he's working on. And he pops this one up. And it is back of the dugout and into the seats. Flew out to center in the 2nd, hit by a pitch in the forearm in the 5th, and he later scored on a double off of the bat of Luke Maley, who's on deck. Pilar started the inning with a double. Perez just hoping to get through this inning, and I'm sure Jeff Bannister has the same high hopes. And chopped right there at the plate, and quickly 0-2 now. Perez gave up 4 in the 5th. Had a 7-0 lead. Remember, the Blue Jays had a 7-0 lead last night. And the Rangers came back with 5, and the bullpen of the Blue Jays able to continue their impressive run. As Osuna picked up the save, his 19th. 2-strike pitch, and Smith Jr. stays alive.
And that was one to hit right there. That was a hanging breaking ball. Perez is going for the strikeout. So he's going to try and snap off a breaking ball, but he hung that one up there where Dwight Smith could reach it. He just couldn't hit solid wood on it. Yeah, this is a lot like last night's game. It's now the Blue Jays' turn to come back and put the pressure on the Rangers.
Perez with the 2-strike pitch again, and good eye by the batter, Dwight Smith Jr.
He knows that he's going to try and strike him out, and he's going to go to that breaking ball. Again, his slider has not been good lately. He hasn't been able to throw it consistently in the strike zone.
The 1-2, and the former first-round pick back in 2011 fouls it off. Pilar at third, and Perez has really slowed down in between each offering.
He does that with runners on base. He really slows the game down and gathers his thoughts, visualizes where he wants to throw this next pitch.
And he misses high, and the count 2-2. Leclerc still warming up.
This might be his last batter one way or another. They like the left on left matchup right here. Even if he gets him, they might not let him face Luke Maile.
Got him. Fastball in under the hands. Only his second strikeout. And let's see what Jeff Bannister decides to do as Maile makes his way to the batter's box.
Fastball ties him up inside. And that's what they needed. They needed a strikeout, something where that runner doesn't advance. Just his second strikeout this afternoon. He's been averaging almost 7 per 9 innings.
So a leadoff double now is at third with 2 outs, and they're going to keep Perez out there. Maile doubled, picked up an RBI, later scored on a base hit by the third baseman Russell Martin. Can Maile help the cause once again as the pitch misses in tight? Here in the top half of the 6th inning. Run number 5 is 90 feet away in Pilar. Perez comes set. Outfield straight away. And the pitch outside, and the count now 2-0.
Fish ain't biting on that changeup down and away. He hasn't won since May the 18th. That was against Philadelphia. He hasn't thrown 6 innings since May the 24th. And he's fighting right now to get that 6th inning in. He needs 1 more out.
Pilar has the lead at third, and the pitch is fouled off to the right side. Blue Jays have had runners in each inning, but it wasn't until the 5th that they finally collected on that, and the count now 2-2. Perez, after that lengthy delay, now back on the rubber, looks in. Chirinos with the sign. Pilar, he's at third. They count 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. They set up inside. And Maile fouls it off. He remains alive in the batter's box.
His double was a pitch that was out over the plate. He hit it in the right center field. So those last couple of pitches, they tried to crowd him to the ball on the inside part of the plate. They don't think he can get the head of the bat out.
If Maile can find his way onto the base pass and on base, Bautista awaits. Here's a 2-2. And it's now 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 away. And Pilar at third. There's Bautista. Has a double and a walk and a run scored.
He's not facing Martin Perez.
You're exactly right. They got Leclerc out in the bullpen. See if Maile can come through here. Fouls it off once again over to the dugout of the Blue Jays. Lefty has thrown 95 pitches, 60 strikes, 35 balls. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 away. Luke Maile awaits here in the top of the 6th with Pilar at third. Got him. Blue Jays waste a leadoff double here in the top of the 6th. It's 7-4. The WestJet Blue Jays fan flyaway contest is now on. Enter for your chance to cheer on the Blue Jays in New York City with WestJet. Go to bluejays.com/WestJet contest to enter. And the WestJet schedule ahead. When you take a look at this schedule for the Blue Jays, they wrap it up today against Texas. 7-game road trip continues in Kansas City. Return home, you'll see Baltimore, and as we mentioned, Boston, and then travel to New York to see the Yankees.
Canada Day, we got the Boston Red Sox in town, July the 1st.
Look forward to that one. Gallo fouls it off. Then Napoli and Chirinos. Gallo hit the Rangers 26th inside the park home run last night. He's 0 for 2. 19 home runs.
And 39 driven in, and he's hitting under 200.
Had a career best 3 extra base hits last night. Valdez came in for Stroman, who struggled through 4. Allowed 7 runs. He worked a 1-2-3 fifth, did the right-hander. And a little hesitation. And
you know what? You're seeing that a lot more around baseball, where pitchers come in and hold, balance, just mess up the timing. The hitter's saying, what's he doing here? He's got a devastating changeup. So he holds. We didn't stop that camera. That was live. That was rolling, man. He was waiting over that mound and then threw that changeup. He was signed by an old teammate of mine, Junior Noboa, when he was with the Diamondbacks. Junior signed him, who's a big scout, the director of Latin American operations for the Diamondbacks. And Cesar has been with the Pirates. He's been with the Marlins, the Oakland A's, and now with the Blue Jays. Need some innings out of him today. So far, so good. 4 up, 4 down.
32 years of age, and the pitch hits Napoli, and he'll jog down to first base.
Drive home in the all-new 2017 CR-V. Always a fun way to end the game. Honda, proud fan since 1977 and the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Bottom of the 6th inning, 4th and final game of this 4-game set. Last time these two teams will see each other during the regular season. Chirinos is the batter. He hit a home run on a pitch up back in the 4th. Napoli over at first, double play depth. He's going to take off for second. The throw down from Maile, got him. Barney applies a tag.
Looked like that might have been the delay steal, or Mike Napoli was anticipating that that ball in the dirt was going to be mishandled by Luke Maile. Trying to get himself into scoring position, walks off, takes a couple of bounces, and then takes off. So that could have been a delay steal, but the Blue Jays ready for it, and they get him easily at second base.
Chirinos with 9 home runs now. Awaits, and that one drops in. A little bit too tight. 2-0 the count with 2 away here in the home half of inning number 6.
That changeup that he throws is like a splitter.
It's got that action.
It's got some downward action where he'll get a lot of ground balls. He'll also get a lot of swings and misses with it. Combines that with a hard sinking, about 92-mile-an-hour sinking fastball.
Made his big league debut when he was 25 years of age. And a swing and a miss there. Right-hander with a count of 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 away. Chirinos calls time. Now settles back in. You see the numbers over the last 10 games. 4 for 30 with 4 home runs. How about that? 4 for 30. And all 4 hits are home runs.
Swing hard, right? That's what I'm saying. Swing hard just in case you hit it.
You think the approach has changed a little bit?
With 2 strikes, watch him. He's not trying to hit a soft single to right field.
He lifts this one into deep right field. Bautista going back. It's off the base of the wall. Bautista scoops it up and throws it in. 2-out double. There you go.
Again, he wasn't looking to just drop a ball into right field. He's going to swing hard in case he hits it. He does, and he comes very close to knocking his 2nd home run of the afternoon. Breaking ball down and away, and he gets all of it to right field. Chirinos, a 167 hitter against the Blue Jays this season coming into this ball game. Looks like a different type of hitter.
Shin-Soo Choo is the batter. He has struck out twice, hitless here today. Right-hander comes set, looks back at second, does Valdez, and the pitch is low in the count of 1-0.
Trinos doesn't look like a 167 hitter against the Blue Jays this year. 267 for his career. Today, he popped out, homered it, and just missed another home run.
Hitting just 216. But as you said, just the approach. You see it with Gallo, you see it with Napoli, Chirinos. You see it throughout Major League Baseball. We were talking earlier about the numbers, the home runs, and then the strikeouts.
Let it fly. Good things could happen.
Lift and separate, as they used to say back in the day. 2-0. Shin-Soo Choo swings through it. Stroman gave up a run in the first, 2 in the third, and then 3 in the third and 1 in the fourth. He had been rolling along on the road, and it had been really strong. Allowed 1 earned run or fewer in 4 of his 6 road starts this season.
Didn't have it today. Gave up 7 earned runs, the most he's given up this year in a start. And now it's up to the bullpen. Needs some shutdown innings. Give the offense a chance to score. Get back into this game and win it.
Top of the 7th, it'll be Bautista, Martin, Smoke. If anybody gets on Morales, just where you want to be. Down 3 runs. If Valdez can keep it there. Choo with the count of 2-2. Valdez checks twice on the runner at second, and the pitch is low, and the count now runs full. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 away here. Chirinos with the lead at second. Valdez to the plate, and it's fouled off. Second inning for Valdez, the right-hander. Was brought up yesterday. Comes set. The 3-2. And it's a walk. So runners now at first and second. And Elvis Andrus, who walked and scored in the first, walked in the third and was thrown out at home with the infield in, and then a single and a stolen base in the fourth. Has 2 stolen bases here today. 17 on the season. So runners at first and second now for the Rangers, and 2 away.
He's been a clutch performer for this Texas Rangers team this year, hitting over 300 with runners in scoring position. Doesn't try and do too much with the ball. You know, he's the one hitter, I think, in this lineup that looks to go back through the middle or go the other way. I mean, when you make a mistake, he can still turn on it. He's got 7 home runs this year. There are his numbers. 31 of his 38 RBIs with runners in scoring position.
At the knees for a strike. He's hit safely in 4 consecutive games, including today. Jays have not been .500 yet this season. And hoping that today could be the day. Ground ball softly out to Tulo, and Valdez able to get out of the jam as Andrus grounds out to end the 6th inning. 2 stranded by the Rangers. Jose Bautista followed by Russell Martin, and then Justin Smoke. All coming up in the top of the 7th.
Vote Toronto Blue Jays for your 2017 All-Stars with the Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot. Vote at bluejays.com/vote and catch all of the excitement of the 88th MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard. You can catch it live right here on Sportsnet on July 11th. Matt.
Justin Smoak so deserving to be there. He'll be third up here in this top of the 7th, and a new pitcher is on. Third time that the Jays will see Jose Leclerc.
Yeah, 4-game series. This is the third time that they have faced Leclerc, the little right-hander with a big arm. Hard fastball, hard slider. He's had 8 games since he's come back from the disabled list, and he's had 16 strikeouts in those 8 games. He's averaging 16 strikeouts per 9 innings. Hard fastball, hard slider.
First pitch misses down and away. Bautista is 1 for 2. Got things going and actually kind of helped things along in the 5th inning. After the hit batter, the double, and then the walk, later scored on the hit by Morales. 1-1 the count. Leclerc. Jays down 3. Got underneath this one, high in the air. Shallow left field, coming over the left fielder, and Mazzara is there for the putout. And left center field. And here comes Russell Martin. Martin with a base hit and an RBI in the 5th inning. Playing third today for Josh Donaldson.
He's looked good.
Yep.
He's had 1 play, and he's handled that perfectly. Looks like that number 2 spot in the batting order agrees with him also.
Yep. As you mentioned earlier, more than likely when you see a right-hander, you'll see a left-handed bat maybe in that spot. We'll see tomorrow. Breaking ball down low and outside. Josh Donaldson was scheduled to be the designated hitter, and then a late scratch here today. So Donaldson's bat out of the lineup.
And that came out of nowhere. I mean, there was no inkling of that. No one talked about it. There was no talk that he might be in, he might be out. It was just a quick scratch right before the ball game.
And Smoak, who was hitting cleanup, as this one is back to home plate, and Chirinos is able to make a play. Smoke has hit cleanup 59 times as a member of the Blue Jays. In 3 years, hitting .275 and 6 homers. That's where he was scheduled to hit. But Donaldson was hitting third, and then you see the switch when they had to bring in Morales. Morales went to the cleanup spot, and Smoke moves up to third in that order. 2 away here in the top of the 7th inning. Jays don't want to go down quietly here. See if they can come up with a little 2-out magic. Smoke, first time that he'll bat left-handed here today. He's a right-handed hitter against a lefty. Perez flew out to right field, top of the 1st, and then a leadoff single in the 4th, and walked in the 5th. Sitting on 20 home runs, tying his career high, the 4th fastest in Blue Jay history. 227 at-bats. Jose Bautista, the fastest back in 2011 with 203 at-bats. Fouled off. Carlos Delgado in 2000 and 209 ABs, and then George Bell back in 1987 and 211. Smoke, originally drafted 11th overall by the Rangers in 2008. In 2010, played in 70 games for the Rangers before he was traded to Seattle.
That was the pitch that was giving him lots of problems over the last couple of seasons. That 2-strike breaking ball in the dirt. He's got such control now with that bat that he's able to hold up on it. I asked him about that. Said, Justin, what happened there? He said, I got tired of swinging at that ball in the dirt, and so he's been laying off of it.
It's amazing what it'll do for your average.
Over 300. I can see the home runs. I can see the RBIs. Justin Smoke's hitting 300.
304 to be exact, and hitting 500, Tabby, in this series.
He's put together some good at bats. I mean, some good where he's seen a lot of pitches. He has fouled off some of the tough pitches from the pitcher, and then come up clutch.
And playing every day. That's going to help too. Fouls this one back. Hit 14 home runs last season in 126 games. Three balls, 2 strikes. In on the hands, lifted high in the air. Chirinos, same spot for Martin, and it gets Smoke. To 1, 2, 3, 7th. First time the Jays go in order. is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Mazara, Beltre, and Odor here in the bottom of the 7th inning, 7-4. Valdez, the right-hander, working in his 3rd inning with the Jays, and pitch is low.
Got to get ahead of this guy, because when he's ahead in the count like he is right now, he's a 400 hitter this season. Just zeroes in on the ball just a little bit better.
Swing and a miss there.
Tell you what, that is a devastating changeup right there. He's not overpowering, but he consistently gets hitters out by being aggressive and throwing quality pitches.
In the air to center field. Pilar going back. The warning track, and there's one away. And Mazara quiet today, 0 for 4. Here comes Adrian Beltre. We were talking about this yesterday. There was an article in the USA Today regarding Joe West, who umpired his 5,000th Major League game on Tuesday night. And you see Adrian Beltre, who promptly drills this one off of the wall in left field, and Beltre looking for second and instead decides to pull up. And in this lengthy article, Joe West was asked about the biggest complainer, and he said, quote, "It's got to be Adrian Beltre. Every pitch you call that's a strike," he says. Whoa, whoa, whoa. He said, "I had a game with him recently, and the pitch was right down the middle, and he tells me that ball is outside. I told him, you may be a great ball player, but you're the worst umpire in the league. You stink," unquote. And then West later went back to USA Today to clarify that he and Beltre are on friendly terms.
Yeah, I think that was, according to Beltre, he was just joking around and having some fun. 2,962 hits now, as he's getting closer and closer to 3,000. He's close to 600 doubles also. 450 plus home runs. I mean, any award that's been out there, you got to figure he's been in there and had a chance to win.
Odor in the air, and there are 2 away. Joe West, the 3rd umpire to work over 5,000 games.
Congratulations to Joe. What an honor. 5,000 big league games. I believe he started in 1976.
2 outs here in the 7th. Jeff Beliveau warming up out in the bullpen. Blue Jays down 3 runs here. Gomez, a single and a run scored in the 2nd, and a 3-run home run in the 3rd. All off of Stroman, who worked 4 innings, 7 hits, 7 runs, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts.
One way to diffuse a batter like Gomez, who's up there hacking away, you start throwing the ball softer and softer, and that's what Valdez can do with that changeup. Knows how to attack those hitters.
He's relying on it. Now he drops down.
He can throw strike after strike from down there with his pitches. But you diffuse hard swingers like that by throwing softer. You don't do it by throwing the ball harder. That's how they want it, those hitters who swing like that. They want that thing up there 94, 95.
Down the left field line, and is foul. Chance today for the Jays to get to 500 for the first time. Down 7-0, came back with 4 runs in the 5th. And Valdez has come in, worked a 1-2-3 5th, struck out Gallo, hit Napoli, and then Napoli was caught stealing. A double off of the bat of Chirinos, a walk, and then Andrews grounded out to end the 6th. See if Valdez can get out of the 7th inning here. Beltre over at first. It's a count of 1-2. And a soft one there, and it is hit a long way. Gomez was waiting for it. Sat on the changeup. And 2 runs here in the 7th with 2 outs. Mentioned it earlier because we've seen it before. 4th highest percentage of home runs with 2 outs.
Well, you throw the changeup, but it's got to be a good pitch. That wasn't a good pitch. That was up. You throw that changeup down and away. You make him reach for it. He hits it off the end of the bat because he's so quick. But that one was up. He could see it just a little bit longer, and he's got himself a multi-home run game.
In the 6 games since coming back off the DL, Gomez has 5 home runs. It's now 9-4.
And a 10-game hitting streak.
Yeah.
With his 3-hit afternoon.
Gallo looks at a strike. So unfortunately for the Blue Jays, they give up a pair here in the 7th. And back to a 5-run lead for the Rangers. Gallo awaits, and the pitch is outside.
His career high in innings is 3. He's 1 more out to tie that.
Got him swinging. And that's his 2nd strikeout. He has struck out Joey Gallo twice. Through 7, it's 9-4 Texas.
NHL team at the 2017 NHL Draft in Chicago. It's presented by Adidas. You can catch it here on the network at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific time, and it's the New Jersey Devils with the #1 overall pick. Matt.
Which way will they go? And here in the 8th inning, Leclerc is done, and Claudio checks in here.
Alex Claudio is a lot like Cesar Valdez, who we just saw for the Blue Jays, only he throws from the left side. Second time that we have seen Claudio in this series. Lefty's hitting 136 against him. He only faced 2 batters the other night. Got it out and gave up a double to Justin Smoak. I say he's a lot like Valdez. He throws a lot of changeup, and he's got a very good changeup.
Morales is the batter. Down 9-4. General Manager Ross Atkins was on MLB Network Radio today, and he said, quote, "We only are focused on adding and winning. It's a lot easier, a lot more fun to think that way," unquote. Of course, trying to get back to 500, and we mentioned earlier about the disabled list, base hit back through the middle, and how tough that's been in the rotation.
I wanted to make a point about 500. 2 years ago, when the Blue Jays made a run and they ended up going to the playoffs in 2015 after 102 games, you know what the Blue Jays record was? 51-51.
Yeah.
So they hovered around that 500, it seemed like the whole season, and then right at the end of July they caught fire. They made all those moves, got some players in there, and then just took off and went to the playoffs. So, you know, hang in there. It's a long season, and it doesn't look like anybody's going to run away with anything in the American League East. Told you, the Blue Jays are in last place, a game under 500, but they're 5 games out of the division lead.
Right. It's not like you're in the AL West where you have Houston 49-24, and Seattle and the Angels are. Well, Seattle's 12.5 back. Angels are 13 back. Texas 13 back, and Oakland 17.5 back. And Ross went on to say that, you know, clearly the schedule ahead is going to provide some clarity, he said, but right now we wake up every day thinking, can we improve our offense in any way or our defense in any way?
To agree. Here's the changeup from Claudio, down and away to pick up the strikeouts. And that's true. The schedule is going to give them a little clarity. We saw that in that update for the schedule. Texas, then Kansas City, go home to play Baltimore, Boston, then up to New York, and then 4 big games right before the All-Star break against the Houston Astros. So he's right. Then after that, it's a long road trip. Detroit, Boston, and Cleveland. There's your clarity right there.
Yep. One out here. Morales at first. Pilar 2 for 3 in the 6 hole, and a ground ball taken by the third baseman Gallo, out at second on to first, and Pilar, fielder's choice, he's safe. Nine to 4. Rangers on top by 5, looking for the split and also trying to get back to 500 as well. Blue Jays after the game head to Kansas City. They'll see the Royals for 3. Jay Happ on the hill. In game 1, game 2, Estrada. And then on Sunday, Francisco Liriano.
Jays are catching the Kansas City Royals at a bad time. They are starting to play some better baseball. They have won 8 out of their last 10. They are a game under 500. Do you know how many teams there are in the American League who are 3 games from 500 in the American League?
Well,
there's 15 teams.
Yep.
How many of them are 3 games either above or below 500? 8. 8. A lot of parity.
Yep.
So I think when you talk about, as you see Steve Pearce pick up a bat and he's getting loose, you talk Ross Atkins saying there's going to be a lot of clarity and they want to add and they want to win. I don't think any of these teams are going to be out of it all the way through September.
Yeah, I agree. Pilar with a lead at first. Barney awaits the pitch. And it's a strike. Well, with the wild card situation, I mean, it's going to be really interesting. The only team in the East that's really, or pardon me, in the American League that's really out there in front is Houston, as we mentioned. The short way, and that's going to do it for the top of the 8th inning. It is 9-4 as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Inzani from the by Honda, proud fan since 1977, an official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Carlos Gomez has got some power and some speed. He is one of 10 players in the major leagues, active players with 100 home runs and 200 stolen bases, and he shows you why today. He's got a multi-home run game. Here's the second one deep to left field. Carlos Gomez with a couple of home runs. He's got a 10-game hit streak. That's our drives of the game. Brought to you by the center fielder, Carlos Gomez.
Gomez on a tear. 3 for 4. 5 RBIs. Napoli, Chirinos back to the top of the order, and Shin-Soo Choo. In the 9th, Dwight Smith Jr. scheduled to hit. Luke Maile, and then back to the top of the order, and Jose Bautista. Now we saw Steve Pearce with a bat. Ground ball backhanded to Tulowitzki, and over to first, and there's one down. Tulo with a backhand in the hole, and here comes Chirinos.
Or is this Babe Ruth coming up here? This guy's had a good game also for the Texas Rangers. He homered in the 4th inning, and he just missed a multi-home run game his last at bat.
With 2 strikes, goes opposite field and right off of the right field wall. And a big swing down to the right knee.
He's been watching Carlos Gomez and Adrian Beltre over here.
Pitch down low and away. It's interesting to watch the different approaches, and then you think about Joey Votto. Up on the bat, still hitting home runs, hitting over 300.
You know what? Congratulations to Joey Votto also.
Chirinos clubs this one into deep left center field. And Dwight Smith Jr. plays it off of the wall, and it's a double.
Well, speaking of home runs, Joey Votto hit his 20th home run the other day. That's 8 seasons now. That ties him with Larry Walker for the most 20 home run seasons as a Canadian. So congratulations to him. And Robinson Chirinos almost had another home run. Teeing off that time off of Valdez. Homer, double. Now it's got another extra base hit deep to left field.
Joey Votto was having some fun talking about the home run derby and about participating in it quite possibly. He has 22 homers this season. That's what he's been averaging over his 11-year career to date. And getting away from Maile, and a wild pitch down to third is Chirinos. But there's been some conversation that it may be Ichiro may join in on the home run derby along with Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton. And former hitting coach Barry Bonds, said that he would like Ichiro as a, because you watch him during BP is like Wade Boggs in batting practice. And I think that's kind of where Joey was going. He said, just think of me as a Canadian Ichiro. Japan has theirs and Canada has theirs. He was joking. He said, yes, I could pull homers into the seats at will. Do I think I can win it? He said, of course. More than likely he will not be asked to be in the home run derby. He was back in 2010 and then he ended up pulling out of it. But it is interesting, and this, Ted Williams always talked about that with Wade Boggs, about, during batting practice, he would, hit him out, and then game time comes, and that wasn't the case.
I saw Wade Boggs. I sat there one day and watched him take batting practice. And the first part of the round, as that ball is fouled, he was just working on his stroke, hitting the ball to left field, and then to center field, and then the right field, just line drives. Then it was like, okay, now I'm going to show you that I've got some power. And I swear, he hit 6 straight balls over the Green Monster in left field. He hit 6 straight balls to center field into the bleachers for a home run, then pulled 6 straight balls out of the ballpark in right field. If he wanted to hit 400 home runs, he could have done that if he wanted to. But hits were more important, and batting titles were more important.
Today's day and age, maybe he would be. Going back to that other philosophy, right, of trying to get it in the air and get it out of the ballpark. Well,
Ichiro's the same way.
Yeah.
He's the same way. 3,000 hits. But I'll tell you, if he wants to hit for power, he can do that.
Generate that bat speed. Pitch down and in and a walk. That Green Monster so inviting for Wade Boggs. Inside out swing and just play pepper with it.
I contend that left-handed hitters hitting in Fenway Park have a better chance to hit than righties. Right-handed hitters, you see that thing over your left shoulder and you think you can yank a ball there and it messes you up. But lefties, all you do is you keep that front shoulder in and you just pepper that wall. Think of all the great left-handed hitters that the Boston Red Sox have had over the years.
The list is long, starting with the number 9. Runners at the corners. Elvis Andrus is the batter. And you see the infield for the Blue Jays here in the 9-4 game, and top of the 9th, 8 and 9, and then back to the top of the order. Trying to keep it right here. Pitch down low and away.
Seems like he might be running out of gas. He's been starting down in Buffalo. He's made 6 starts out of his 7 appearances for the Buffalo Bisons. Pete Walker now on the phone. It looks like they might have to get somebody up in this 9-4 game, but So he's stretched out. He's already had a career high in innings pitched today with 3 1/3. He needs one of those atom balls. One of the balls that are hit right at somebody. Maybe they can turn 2 and get out of here.
He has thrown 59 pitches. Runners at first and third. Andrews is the batter. There's 1 for 2, 2 walks and a run scored. The 2-0 on its way, ground ball. And caught up is Chirino, scooped up by Martin. Diving, and he's safe. Interference by Tulowitzki. Bases are going to be loaded.
And Gibby's already given the sign that he wants to take a look at this one. And the home plate umpire, Greg Gibson, he's going to pick up the headpiece. Martin wants to cut down that run. Chirinos goes first and third, 1 out, you go.
See Tulowitzki trying to get out of the way.
Now they're going to call all the umpires together. And if they called interference, I did not see the umpire call interference. I saw him call safe.
I think he pointed at Tulo.
Did he? After he called safe?
No, I think, yes, after he called safe. I think he, let's see. And see how he's pointing at him. Yep.
So
that is Shane Livensparger working third base.
That shouldn't be reviewable then if he's calling interference. I think Gibby went right out there and said, I want to take a look at it, thinking that it was the call, that if he was on the bag or not before the tag. So now he's getting an explanation. If it's interference,
the run would score, right? And I think that's what exactly the discussion is about. So it's going to be first and second, and on interference, the runner scores. And now Martin wants an explanation. Tulowitzki and John Gibbons maybe just buying some time for his bullpen.
He already called him in.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, with all the explanation going on, he's like, all right, get him some other time. And Belivo's coming in as he takes the baseball.
Are presented by Bacardi. Every Friday this summer, join us on our outdoor patio at gates 10 and 11 for a pregame concert. This year's lineup includes Rose on July 7th, Deer Rouge on the 28th, DJ Showcase featuring Jed Harper, DJ Deluxe, and your boy Brian on August 11th, and High Valley on August 25th. The patio opens at 4:30 p.m. Get your tickets at bluejays.com. Matt.
All right, Hazel, thank you. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning, Jeff Beliveau will come on to work, and Valdez will leave. He inherits 2 runners at first and second after the interference call.
Well, just like Leclerc, who's worked in 3 of these 4 games against the Blue Jays, Jeff Beliveau, this is his 3rd appearance in this 4-game series. He was down yesterday because he had worked on back-to-back days. On Tuesday, he threw an inning and 2/3, had a couple of strikeouts. Trying to mop this one up.
There's only 1 out. You get a double play ball here. Shin-Soo Choo is the batter. 10 runs. Pardon me, Nomar Mazara. I apologize. Shin-Soo Choo is at second. Andrews is over at first. Bottom of the 8th. Valdez works 2 1/3. 3 1/3.
That is a career high. Just couldn't close the door here in the 8th inning.
Came on in the 5th inning. Worked a 1-2-3, and then things got a little bit spotty in the 6th and then in the 7th, and unable to get out of the 8th. And as you mentioned, career best 3 1/3. 4 hits, 3 runs thus far. 2 earned. With 2 walks and 2 strikeouts and a home run.
Well, this all started with 1 out in Robinson Chirinos at the plate.
Another double.
Another double started this whole thing
Pitch
again.
up.
Chu ended up walking, and then that crazy play that we just saw off the bat of Andrews.
Beliveau comes set. Mazara is 0 for 4. Here's a 2-2, and the breaking ball misses. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 1 away here in the home half of the 8th inning. Jays cut it to a 3-run game back in the 5th. It was 7-4, but the Rangers have been able to add on.
You could feel some momentum shifting over to that third base dugout, couldn't you? Blue Jays were 1 hit away of getting this tied.
Mazara struck out in the 1st, grounded out in the 3rd, 4th, and then flew out in the 7th. Beliveau, the 3rd pitcher for the Jays. Trying to get the left-handed hitting Mazara here. The lefty comes set with 2 on. Andrews at first, Chu at second. And the pitch in and walks him, and that's going to bring up Beltre. Bases are loaded.
Well, this is what the fans came for right here, to see Beltre do something special in his Hall of Fame career. Got that batting average up to 290. Got a base hit his last time up. He's got a 2-hit day going.
See if Beliveau can get out of this one here. 10 runs have been scored by the Rangers, and the lefty brings it, and the first pitch is in there for a strike on the scoring. Chirinos scores on an error, E6. The interference. Runners at first, second, and third. Beltre, 281 with 10 grand slams in his career, with the bases loaded. here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The 0-1 with one away. Double play depth through the middle. And it's high and outside. Rangers put up 7 through the first 4, and they've added 2 in the 7th. They've added 1 here in the 8th. Beltre skies it in the air. Pilar underneath it. Tagging up at third is Shin-Soo Choo. The throw to the plate not in time, and hustling second to third is Andrews. And so now 11 have scored for the Rangers.
And that is RBI 1,587 in his illustrious career. The numbers just keep piling up for Adrian Beltre. Tied for 35th all time with Miguel Cabrera. Well, that 2 RBIs today will break that tie. 447 home runs. Just keeps rolling along, doesn't he?
Certainly does. And tack that run onto the line. Valdez and Odor down the right field line, and it is foul. Just foul. Stroman to work 4, Valdez 3 1/3. Rangers have put up 11. And the Jays are going to need a huge top of the 9th. One ball, one strike. Odor single and a run scored back in the 30s. 1 for 4.
Belvo was unscored on in both of those appearances in this series. 2 2/3. He's had 4 strikeouts. His curveball was working, throwing it for a strike against the Rangers on Monday and Tuesday.
And driven foul. Count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Odor is on it right now. See what Belliveau will be able to do here and when he comes up with. Odor waits. Here's the 1-2 on its way. High in the air. Maley along with Smoke. And it is off of the top of the dugout. It almost looked like it hit the edge of it and then bounded right back onto the field of play. Odor, you see this series just 2 for 17. The 1-2 fouled off. And the home plate umpire, Greg Gibson, will walk out and give Maley a little bit of time. Rangers coming into this series had won 3 consecutive series, playing for the split today. And unless the Blue Jays can come up with a huge 9th, it looks like the elusive 500 mark is still going to be out there for Toronto.
I like the Blue Jays' chances today with Marcus Stroman on the mound, and his last 5 starts on the road have been so good. The Blue Jays have won 5 of those everything was good, but that first inning, he gave up a run on a hit. Not much better in the second, not much better in the third. He ended up going 4 innings and giving up 7 runs.
And Odor strikes out. That ends the bottom of the 8th inning. We head now to the 9th. 11-4 Texas.
Blue Jays on Sportsnet. Presented by the all-new 2017 Honda Rebel. Live your life. Love your ride.
Well, change in the defense here as we head to the top of the 9th inning. Joey Gallo goes to first base.
Pete Cosma will take over at third base, so if you're scoring at home, pencil in Pete Cosma in Mike Napoli's spot, with Bannister getting his veteran Napoli off his feet for this last half inning, possible last half inning.
And the left-hander Claudio remains on. And Dwight Smith Jr. to lead off here. Hit by a pitch in the 5th and later scored. And a line drive, and what a snag by Odor, robbing Dwight Smith Jr. of a base hit. All right, let's check in with Tim and Sid with a preview of what's coming up. All right, you guys love talking about rumors. They love it. They may have a couple of things to talk about over the next couple hours, maybe. As that pitch is in there for a strike to Luke Maile. A lot of stuff going on over the next couple of days.
We've got drafts in both the NBA and the NHL.
Jays will head to Kansas City. They'll be in search of getting back to 500. And unless they can come through here, but it's going to take a bundle as they trail 11-4. And Claudio to the plate, and it's fouled off by Maile. And look, Blue Jays came in having won 15 of their last 20 games here in Arlington since the start of 2013.
Outscoring them, out pitching them, out homering them.
Swing and a miss. Got him. 2 down.
And that's that changeup that Claudio throw at times. And isn't this just what the fans wanted to see? One more chance to Let Jose Bautista know what they think.
With 2 outs, Bautista the batter. He is 1 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. First pitch is in there for a strike. Breaking ball misses down low and outside. Bautista trying to keep it alive with 2 outs. And a breaking ball dropped in there for a strike.
70-mile-an-hour changeup. 11-4, and he's dropping changeups on the Blue Jays.
Claudio with a 1-2 to Jose. Slow, slow, and slower.
That one was 67 miles an hour. That was almost
That's BP level.
An eephus pitch.
A 2-2 with 2 outs. And a breaking ball that's lifted high in the air toward the dugout and runs out of room, does Chirinos. And as he runs right into the net, and Bautista remains alive. It was a day when you came to the ballpark, you thought that the Blue Jays had an opportunity to get to 500 for the first time this season. But unfortunately, Marcus Stroman struggled. And the Rangers took advantage. 2-2 ground ball back through the middle, a base hit. Keeping the hope alive here. Down 7 as Bautista has his second hit of the day. And Russell Martin will make his way to the batter's box.
Yeah, keep booing him. He likes it. He always seems to come up. That's another hit. Jose's had a multi-hit game. He's 2 for 4 with a run scored.
Tim and Sid coming up. With just a couple of things to talk about. Ground ball, rip foul. Blue Jays head to Kansas City for 3 to wrap up this 7-game road trip. And for the Texas Rangers, they head out on the road. They'll face the Yankees. 10-game road trip for the Texas Rangers. That's what's in front of them. Here's the 0-1. 71 miles an hour.
Yeah. Russell not real happy about those changeups being thrown at him with a 7-run lead.
Claudio comes set. The 0-2 with 2 away. Breaking ball. Softly laid out there. 64 miles an hour. And look at Russell. He's may want to move up in the batter's box. One-two in on the hands. Back to Claudio off of the mound over to first, and that's going to do it. Blue Jays and Rangers split their 4-game set. Toronto now 35-37, while the Texas Rangers are back to 500. It's time for Tim and Sid.